There is no luck. There is only preparation. Champions don't wait for luck, they create it. The world owes you nothing until you've given it everything. Before you expect a breakthrough, break yourself first. Break the excuses, break the laziness, break the softness. You want luck. Then go bleed for it, sweat for it, cry for it. Luck only visits those who are in motion. It doesn't show up at your couch. It doesn't knock on your door when you sleep in. The real game is about positioning. When you grind daily relentlessly with no applause, no recognition, no reward, you position yourself in front of the storm. And when the storm of opportunity hits, only those who were prepared will survive, thrive, and rise. People call it luck. Winners call it strategy. Warriors call it discipline. So if you're waiting for a sign, let this be it. Bust your ass. Make luck irrelevant. Discipline over motivation, always. Motivation is a liar. It shows up when it wants leaves, when you need it most, and whispers sweet nonsense in your ear just long enough to make you feel good, but not long enough to make you great. Champions don't rely on motivation. Champions are forged in discipline. Discipline is what gets you out of bed when your body begs for more sleep. Discipline is what drags you into the gym when your mind makes excuses. Discipline is what keeps your feet moving when results are nowhere in sight and the world has turned its back on you. Anyone can act when they feel good. Anyone can train when it's sunny. But warriors train in the rain. They push through pain. They show up when it's hard, when it hurts, and when no one's watching. That's what separates the amateurs from the elite. Motivation is an emotion. Discipline is a commitment. If you want to be extraordinary, stop waiting to feel right. Start acting right. Feelings are irrelevant. Winners don't negotiate with their emotions. Winners execute regardless of how they feel. Your body wants comfort. Your mind wants safety. But your soul wants greatness. And greatness requires sacrifice. Not once, not twice, but daily. There are no shortcuts, no secret hacks, just you and the war within. The battlefield is inside your head. The enemy is the weaker version of you. And every day you either feed that weakness or kill it with discipline. Forget inspiration. Forget the hype. Show me what you do when it's cold, when it's dark, when it's lonely. That's who you really are. You want results. You want freedom. You want to win. Then stop chasing motivation. Build discipline. Live by it. Die by it. Because motivation might get you started, but only discipline will get you there. Greatness is built in the shadows, not under the spotlight. Not when the crowd is cheering, not when the world applauds. True greatness is born in silence, in the grind that nobody sees, in the effort that nobody claps for, in the pain that nobody understands. It's easy to show up when the cameras are on, easy to work hard when there's praise. But what do you do when no one's watching? That's who you are. The path to excellence is a lonely one. While others sleep, you work. While they quit, you keep going. While they wait for the perfect moment, you're creating it. There will be days where you give your all and see nothing. Days where the scale doesn't move, where the business doesn't grow, where the feedback is silence. And that's when most people walk away. But the great ones, the obsessed, the relentless, they stay. They stay because they know the truth. Progress doesn't always announce itself. The muscles grow in pain. The brand builds in obscurity. The legacy is written in sweat and silence. Everyone wants the trophy. Few are willing to suffer for it. Everyone wants to be called great. Few are willing to be unseen, unheard, and uncelebrated for years. You want to stand out. Then do what no one else is willing to do for longer than anyone else is willing to do it. Embrace the boring. Master the mundane. Fall in love with repetition, because when it's finally your time, when the light finds you, you'll realize you don't need it. You already became great in the dark. What's the one thing you've been doing in the dark quietly, consistently, without applause? Drop it in the comments. Let's remind each other that's where true greatness begins. No one is coming to save you, and that's the best news ever. The faster you accept this truth, the faster your life begins to change. There's no hero coming down from the sky. No mentor with a magic pill. No lucky break waiting just around the corner. The cavalry isn't on its way. You are the cavalry. You're not stuck because of your parents. You're not stuck because of the economy. You're stuck because you're waiting for someone else to change your life. And that's never going to happen. The day you stop waiting is the day you start winning. Winners are self-made, self-started, self-driven. They don't look for help, they become the help. They don't cry for guidance. They carve their own path. It's not easy. It's not supposed to be. But it is liberating. Because once you stop blaming, once you stop expecting others to fix your problems, you take your power back. Blame is the language of the weak. Responsibility is the language of champions. You want something, then build it. No excuses, no apologies. You don't need approval. You don't need permission. You need to move. And here's the paradox: when you become the kind of person who doesn't need saving, that's when others start to follow you. That's when you become the leader, the light, the legend. You are the one. You always have been, so stop waiting. Start building. This is your moment. Stand up, own it, lead. You should be a monster, a controlled monster. The world doesn't need more nice guys. It doesn't need more people who play it safe, who dim their fire to make others feel comfortable. What the world needs are warriors, ruthlessly ambitious, fiercely focused, and dangerously capable, but not reckless. A true warrior is not just powerful. He's disciplined, dangerous, but deliberate, strong, but silent, capable of destruction, but committed to creation. There's power in restraint. When you hide your strength under control, you terrify weakness. When you walk into a room with quiet confidence, people feel it before you speak. That's presence. That's power. Too many people are told to be soft, to be polite, to shrink themselves down. No. Be sharp. Be brutal with your goals. Be relentless with your vision. Be ferocious with your standards. But master yourself first. Because an uncontrolled monster is a threat. A controlled monster is a weapon. And you, if you want to lead, if you want to dominate, if you want to build something legendary, you must become both the beast and the chain. Be the storm and the calm. Be terrifying in your potential. Be graceful in your execution. Because in this life, it's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war. Own everything. That's where your power lives. The most dangerous thing you can do in life is point the finger. The moment you blame your parents, your boss, the economy, your past, you give away your power. You hand over the keys to your life to someone else. And here's the truth. Even when it's not your fault, it's still your responsibility. Read that again. You didn't choose where you were born. You didn't choose the pain they caused. You didn't choose the betrayal, the failure, the trauma, but you do choose how you respond. You choose if it defines you or drives you. Victims wait. Warriors act. Blame feels good. Temporarily, it protects your ego, but it traps your future. Responsibility, on the other hand, is hard. It requires courage. It demands ownership, but it gives you back control. When you say, "This is on me," all of it, you reclaim your life, your health, yours, your finances, yours, your relationships, yours, your success, always yours. The world doesn't owe you anything, and that's a blessing because you don't owe it anything back. This is your game, your rules, your result. So stop waiting for someone to save you. Stop wishing for a better environment. Start being the one who creates it. Because the moment you take radical responsibility is the moment everything changes. Not immediately, but inevitably. Responsibility isn't a burden, it's freedom. The most powerful people on earth are those who own it all, wins, losses, and everything in between. So look in the mirror, not out the window, and say it loud. Everything is my fault, and that's why I win. Every day you choose. Keep going or quit. It's not a one-time decision. It's not made once and done. It's made daily, sometimes hourly, in the quiet moments when no one's watching. When the alarm rings at 5 a.m., you choose. When the reps get heavy, you choose. When the results are slow, you still choose. And most people, they choose average. They choose comfort. They choose easy. They tell themselves just for today. But that's how mediocrity is built one day at a time. Winners choose differently. Winners wake up and say, no matter how I feel, I show up. Because showing up when it's hard, when it's boring, when it's thankless, that's where greatness lives. Your future is not built in one big moment. It's built in thousands of small ones where you had every excuse to quit and you didn't. So today, right now, make the choice. Keep going. Because the life you want doesn't come from feelings. It comes from consistent, brutal, courageous decisions. Clap for yourself, even if no one else does. The world loves winners after they've won. But before that silence, doubt, loneliness. And that's where most people give up. Not because they failed, but because they weren't seen. You must become your own fan, your own motivation, your own fire. Because sometimes the only applause you'll hear is your heartbeat. And that's enough. Keep going when no one notices. Keep building when no one believes. That's what makes you unstoppable. The path to greatness is not paved with cheering crowds. It's paved with brutal discipline done alone in the dark. So rise again. And if no one claps, clap anyway. Because one day the world will stand, but only if you kept going when it didn't. You're not stuck because of fate. You're stuck because you're afraid to speak. Afraid to say, this job is killing me. Afraid to say, this relationship is over. Afraid to say I need help. Afraid to say I want more. So you stay quiet. You stay safe. But silence isn't safe. Silence is slow death, and every day you avoid those conversations. You bury yourself deeper in a life that's not yours. What if you said it? What if you dared to face it? What if you opened the door and let the truth breathe? Would it hurt? Yes. Would it shake your world? Probably. But would it set you free? Absolutely. Because the conversations you avoid are the keys to the cage you built. And this world, it doesn't need more polite zombies. It needs warriors. It needs you fully awake, fully alive, fully honest. Conclusion. Hard times create hard men. Hard men build strong lives. And strong lives demand strong choices. This is not a dress rehearsal. This is your one shot. So speak the truth. Own your fire. Walk into the storm, because everything you've ever wanted is on the other side of fear. Get up, face it, and fight like hell. And if today you decide to stop living in silence, if you dare to speak the painful truths that have been suffocating you, you won't just survive, you'll conquer. Don't be afraid of death. Be afraid of living a life without meaning. Every time you swallow your words, you're also swallowing your dreams. Every time you delay, you're handing your chance to someone braver, bolder, someone who dares to speak what you won't. This world doesn't need more timid ducks. It needs soaring eagles that cut through the storm. And you'll never fly if you keep swimming in the stagnant waters of fear. The truth is, on the other side of fear lies the person you were meant to become. So speak, face it, act. This is not a dress rehearsal. This is real life, your one and only shot. Raise your hand. Look in the mirror. Declare to yourself, I will not stay silent 1 second longer. I am ready to fight for the life I deserve. Now, not tomorrow, not later, right, freaking now.